Hey guys, welcome to Comfy Cozy Up. So yeah, I'm back to the normal reading vlog. I miss these. Readathon was fun, but it was just like, it wasn't like taking my time. It was just like every day was clips and I had to edit. So now I'm back to like a more easy, laid back, my kind of vibe. And so let's get into what I'm going to be discussing and talk about in this video, in this reading vlog. So I started reading romance. So if you guys haven't seen it, go ahead and check out my summer romance TBR. And I want to be in that mood, that summer, relax, have some fun, because I'm outside, y'all. I'm outside. Believe it or not, my little scary ass is outside. Anyway, I am outside. More so areas where it's not too crowded, but I have been going out. I've been going to a few events. I went to a barbecue over the weekend. I had on my little shorts. I felt good. That 22 pounds weight loss has made me feel good. So don't worry, I will dedicate a video where I talk about what I eat, because it took me 6 months to lose 22 pounds. So this is not a fast diet. This is really a lifestyle. And so if you're looking for something fast, this is not it. I know a lot of people were in my DM asking me that, because especially on my other Instagram page, which is PD_goal, I try to leave all that fitness stuff on there, but I don't really talk much on there because it's a lot, guys, to have two Instagram. I completely neglected my TikTok, and then to have my blog, which I've been neglecting again, and YouTube channel. It's a lot to keep up, and then I have a full-time job. Plus, I'd rather be reading than to do all of that Instagram stuff. I'd rather be reading. So with that, I had to separate, but then nevertheless, I would do a video where I just do what I've been eating, what's working for me, and this kind of, if you're interested, be one of those weekend kind of thing, because then I'll be able to do an entire day of what I eat, so you can see how I've been living. And so I went to the barbecue. It felt great being at a barbecue. It wasn't too crowded, thank God, but it was just more of an intimate setting. It was a friend. Had some good food and had a good time. Of course, all the little things are coming up. Book events are back. Yes, they are. So I'm excited for some that's coming up later on in the year. That is definitely going to see me there. But I also have an event coming up in this month. So the 30th of July, it is going to be on Saturday from 2 to 4. That was my session. So I will be doing a workshop, a journaling workshop. So you come journal with me. With that said, this video is going to be a continuation of my journal series. I'm going to focus on notebooks and journal and what I've been using and what I use for different things. So that's going to be in this video. So this video might be a little lengthy, because if I start talking about those, it might be a little lengthy, but I try to minimize it. But you guys watch the other ones, and I noticed that you guys watched them and enjoyed me talking about different things. So I've also been testing out 3 different notebooks that is going to be a part of that workshop. And for those who are interested, if you are in Brooklyn and you want to come out and see me and journal with me, you go on brooklyncat.com website here, and on there will be links to how you can get your spot for this workshop. It's limited space because, of course, we're dealing with, plus it's an intimate setting, because I will be doing journaling things with you and talking to you about journaling and how you can tap into your creative space and do some art journaling on your page, all that good stuff. So over the weekend, it was Friday, while they were fixing my AC. See, I know I got air, y'all. I could be up here chilling now and not die of, and be heated and sweating. So I've been testing out, there's about 3 different notebooks. So I will talk about that later, but you guys saw me doing this one where I was decorating the cover, and to see how much abuse this one can take, because for the workshop, everything will be provided for you. You literally just come with yourself. So I've been having a good time, like testing out these these ones. So this one is the pages are blank, and the good part is it didn't bleed. So I've been using my fountain pen on the back just to test it out, and none of them bled. None of them bled. But I'll give you a close-up later on. There's this one as well. This is a dot grid one, and I did a little decoration on the front. And there's another one that I haven't opened up the package yet that I am going to test out and see which one wins, and that will be what I will select for it to go in the package. There will be a goodie bag with other stuff in there. I'm not sure what the other stuff is. I am not the one. I was invited to be a part of the event. I am not the actual, what you call the entire thing host. It's hosted by Brooklyn Cat, which is a organic, homemade skincare. She does fabulous lotion, body wash, face cream, all that good stuff. So I'm excited. It's my first one, in-person one to do, and I look forward to doing more. And I'm so glad people are giving me opportunity. I didn't see it coming, guys. I was so like, really? Me? I was like, yeah, thanks. So that's one thing. So I did a tag of my book freak out tag for this year. I do one every year. I was a mess in terms of I wasn't that organized. I forgot certain books I wanted to talk about, which is fine with me because it gave me opportunity to talk about them later on in the year. So you know, I'm good. I've also been working on today my blog posts. I always do a mid-year blog post, and when I think about it, I'm like, wow, 50 books. I've read 50 books so far this year. I'm like, that's what I used to read in a whole year. And then I'm like, this has been a very interesting year so far as my reading. But a lot of it is I've gotten back into romance a little bit more this year, and historical fiction. And those are two genres that I tend to fly through because I love them. So that's a perk. I didn't read as much classic, and the classics I find that I read a little slower, so it takes me a little longer. So maybe that's a factor. But then again, last year I read 100 books. And I had at least 16, I think, or 17 classics. So I don't know. I don't know what kind of year I'm having, but it's been a good year. So I am going to write that, and then, yeah, let's do some journaling. And I am started a project, a sewing project. I am probably not going to finish it in this video. I was hoping to, but I have some other things that I'm getting into. Plus, guys, the book I'm reading now, Magnus has been, I could not put this book down. I literally have about 50 pages left, so it's going to be done today. And I'm already like, I need to get to the next one. It's about 8 books in the series. I've only read one, which was Monty. And I love Monty. And now, I don't know why I never just start reading all the other books. I think because I started with Royal. He was a little slow read for me because it started... Well, it didn't give me like the initial want to turn the pages at first, but I'm reading them out of order because the one I'm reading now is book 5 and Monty was 6. So I read Monty first, and then the one that I download after is book 7. I'm reading them out of order. There are a little bit of spoiler, but not enough where I ruin the book, because the spoiler that I know of is literally at the end, because I already read this book is like 300 something pages, and I already read almost 300 pages, and they haven't discussed the family aspect yet, because this is the St. Clair series, and what I know so far based on the months that I read is this man had kids, and I believe it's believed to be 5, but it's more than that, and some of them end up in the foster care system, and so they don't know of each other, and they're discovering each other and finding each other. But these men are all alpha males so far that I've read, and they have their share of personal issue, but they also have wealth so far, because Monty had wealth too. This one here is filthy rich, and then there's other ones that own businesses that they got money. That's what I'm getting. But I'll talk more about this as we go, because y'all can see me smiling. It's a problematic book in a way that I still love it. I still love it. So I will talk about those as we go in this video. So yeah, that is it for now. I need to do my journal for the day. And I've been not doing a lot of reels this month either, because last month I was doing a whole lot with that challenge that I was doing, the 30-day nerdy craft, something like that. And that was fun, but this month I'm not doing that much. I really wish Instagram did not just start not appreciating photos, because I have so many nice book photos. I'm still gonna post them, a lot of them from last month, and I'm still gonna post them even though no one sees them. Like, people are telling me that they really don't even see those photos unless I like share them on my story. They realize I did post something. Instagram is like blocking them. You just don't see photos. You see, only thing you're seeing is reels. Like my reels, people see, you know, because I look at the views. But the photos, no one sees those, and that sucks, because not everything should be about video. But that's what I have for now, guys. All right, I'm about to do some journaling and finish my week planning. I'll finish this later. It's my planner I love, guys. I didn't give an update on this, but it's my 6-month update. It gets used. It gets used every day. The only thing about this planner that I miss about my old planner is that it doesn't have a weekly. So my information is every day. So versus the weekly, I used to like, because I could see the entire spread on one page of all the things that I need to do for the week, versus this is only daily. That is the only thing, but I guess they said there is a substitute I could have gotten with it, but then I don't need that. I don't want both. I want either, you know. So I'm missing the weeks thing. And then this has been used a lot. I am so glad that I've been keeping up with my reading journal, because I haven't updated my Goodreads. I've not updated my Goodreads probably 2-3 months. But I love this. I love that I just add some pictures, do my little notes, add some pictures of the book, and this will, you know, keeps me on track, where if I forget to do Goodreads, I don't have to go back and try to figure out anything. I love the little notes that I keep in here. A lot of it is spoilers, so I wouldn't even do a whole run through on this, because if you haven't read any of this and you're gonna read my notes, it's spoilers. But I just jot down a few things that I like about this, and then also events that people invite me to, I put in here. The tag questions I put in here. Yeah, it's like I have a lot of notes on Pleasant View. I have a lot of I have a little bit on, this is when I did the video for my TBR for romance, so I can kind of have an idea what it is. I did the birthday tag on here, and of course this is the mid-year freak out tag that I have in here. So this has gotten some use, and I'm not even halfway. So I have a lot more pages to go through for the rest of the year, and I've discovered 2 more pens that I can use in here that doesn't bleed, because the paper is not that thick. So I'm excited about that. And so yeah, so get some journaling done today, and get back with you guys later. So let's talk about the books that I finished this week, and then I'm going to go into my notebooks now, guys. It's probably going to be a long video when I look at the notebooks that I wanted to talk to you about. These are not all the notebooks, but these are the ones that I currently use on rotation for different things. So I will go into it, give you the nitty gritty, and yeah. So let's talk about the romance. Now, I read 3. I'm almost finished with the 4th. And there's a 5th one I'm like 60 pages in. I'm on a roll with the romance. And because they just feel good books. These books that just makes me smile. And what I need right now is summer. You want to, but don't worry, the heavier books are coming. They're coming. I do have historical fiction that I will be reading next week. It's a new release. It's supposed to land here on Tuesday. Let's hope it gets here on time. But I want to start that book, and I'm looking forward to that one. So the book that I started with was Saving Sunflowers. Now this one is a book that was on my Kindle for a while, so I was excited to read this. I started reading it first and I thought, oh, I might be a bit too old for this book because it was just like the things that they were doing and the attraction to them. It just gave me very much Young and Dumb kind of vibes. But as I continued reading, I realized that it was still catchy. It was still drawing me in. It was still giving me a story that is heavy, but also meaningful. So we have Dominique, and he is a gifted rapper, artist, but he never nourished it because it was something that comes easy to him. But he's used to living the life on the streets. And he's done some illegal things and continue doing some until one action caused him to basically lose his mind. He met a college girl. She is, young college girl. She is smart, but she's also not focused. She's one of those where she's just in school, but she don't really have a passion for anything really. She works at a Waffle House, and he went in and saw her and immediately was smitten by her. But she has certain things about him that she liked, and she was helping him negotiate a contract to do a show at a club. And because she knows that she's notorious for writing papers for people in school and doing all this stuff, but she took control and he liked it, so they started hanging out. Mostly more of a, I'm going to help you get your foot on the ground. I'm going to help you do your social media, that kind of deal. But there's distraction that comes in it. And his lifestyle is not the greatest for her to be involved with this guy. And she has a best friend who's constantly telling her that because she's experienced the what could happen when you date someone like that. Now, this is a very much of a good girl, bad guy kind of vibes. It gives you much of the choices that a guy can make when he is not stable and has like childhood things that happen. They both are experiencing abandonment from a parent, which is what connects them in the story. But they still make very much a lot of bad decisions, but you're still for some reason rooting for them. And you want them together, but in a lot of ways, you look at the story, you realize realistically, who would the hell would put themselves in that position kind of deal. But something about it still makes me appreciate the storyline. And that's where, I am with this. I enjoyed it. It is a very much a page turner for sure. And it's a long one, but it didn't feel long. So it's like it's long, but you didn't really feel it. So I like that. Then I read The Summer Proposal. This was a fun one. This was about a blind date that was intersected by a man who wasn't the date. So here goes Georgia waiting for her blind date, and here come Max pretending to be the blind date because he just was attracted to her instantly. And while when the real blind date show up, of course he's like, trying to smooth it out because the chemistry was so good between them. Like she was so happy that this was going to be the blind date. And he gave her a ticket to come see a hockey game. And after the real blind date didn't go well, she decided to go to the hockey game and realized that, oh, he is one of the hockey player. well-known hockey player, but she didn't know because she doesn't follow hockey. She's also a business owner, and so she's had this drive and this passion for her business, but she also comes with the big issue, which what I had issue with at first, but it grew on me, is the fact that she was in an open relationship. And he is also an athlete that's constantly traveling. So he's like, well, we can just do this because there's no string attached. We don't have to have feelings involved. But it's a romance novel. So, feelings going to get involved. But he's also hiding something. And as the story goes, you see how that happened. But I love this in terms of, I am that person that loves to meet somebody that is open to the bucket list things. Like, just have a list of things you want to do for the summer, and we're just going to do it. We're going to have fun with each other, and we're going to do it. And that's the part of the story that was so romantic. And I loved it because I'm like, damn, I really miss having that kind of connection with somebody where we used to just get up. I had that get up and just no plans and just head on on the train, and we're going somewhere. And we had so much memory and so much fun. It was once in a lifetime. But, this gave me that nostalgic feel for the story, and I love them together. I love how it ended. I love the passion. I love the lessons learned between them. It was such a good one. Then we have Magnus. Now, let me tell you, if you are not a fan of alpha male, aggressive alpha male, wealthy alpha male that knows their power, don't read this. Because Magnus is not the nicest person. I had to warm up to him in this story. But the very initial pages of this book got me. I was already addicted to the story from the freaking first page. Like, I just remember thinking, oh yeah, I want to read more of this. And even though I know ideally he was not a great guy, I still wanted to really get into him. I still wanted to read more. I still was here for it. I was that person reading this thinking, oh, give me more. Give me more. So what we have is this wealthy man who had lost his family. He has lost his wife and his son in a car accident. So he has never recovered. It's been 5 years. So he submerged himself into his business, and his business grew to the point where he's really up there, billionaire status, that kind of deal. But he is still grieving and is still not okay with being here. He wants to not be a part of this world anymore. But his whole idea is he wants to continue his legacy. So he wants a woman that's going to have his child and have somebody there to continue his legacy. And he had tempted, but this woman just caught his attention, which is Shiloh. And she caught his attention. And he started watching her over a couple of months. And she, of course, didn't know this. He would show up at her job. She works at a diner. And he would just show up at her job and put himself in a corner. And he would only want her to be his waitress. And eventually, he put a proposition to her. I need to have my baby. But she ain't about the money. She's about, she's like a good person that doesn't care about money, even though she's filthy poor and living with her father. But he knew where he can get her to say yes, and he used it to his advantage. And that's the part that you're going to be like, oh yeah, he's an ass. That's the part. But it's something about them that was so wrong, but so right. This is one of those where you're like, you're not supposed to like this because it's just so wrong. It feels so right. That's how I felt about these two together. I was rooting for them for some freaking weird reason because I'm like, in real life, and I knew someone in this situation, I would have told her to run. But I like Magnus. I don't know. And it's crazy with the series because I'm reading them out of order, but I kind of read them in a good spot because it is 8 books in the series. So the first 4 books is about these brothers who belongs to Mason Sinclair. And then book 5, 6, and 7, which is the 3 brothers who are the nephew of Mason Sinclair. And they, however, did not, they got raised in a foster care system because Mason's brother, something happened, some tragedy, and he, which I don't know yet because I know I need to go back, that caused him to give up his children. And eventually they found each other as an adult. So they all have certain kind of issues and things that's happened to them, which makes them kind of aggressive. Some form of loss, that kind of deal. But there's something about them still that's attractive, even though they're very much alpha male that are like aggressive as hell. But I like aggressive alpha male, as long as you're not aggressive to the point where I'm like, you scary, scary. There were some moments in this where I thought he was like, the way she wrote it, of him like just standing, staring at Lo with his head in his pocket, like staring her down. And I'm like, yo, just that alone was sexy as hell compared to like when they really got to the smut part. I was already like, oh yeah, I could just imagine him doing that. And that's just what's sexy. But I'm going to continue. I did read Monty, which is book number 6. I started Major, which is book number 7. And Major and Monty grew up together. They actually was in the same adopted foster care home and eventually got adopted. So they had Bond and Magnus is the outside one that is like still, trying to get bonding with the brothers. I'm going to read the whole series because I just love the brothers. I love how she just makes them what it is. You either going to love them or you're going to hate them, that kind of deal. So that is it for the romance part. The video going to be long already because hear me talking about romance and I'm like going at it. So let me set up and we're going to do the notebook and I'm going to try not to make this video super long. But that's what we are going to do now. So let's start with the monogram. So this is my reading journal. So this is what I use with the Comfy Cozy Up. And I choose a different color every year. I've been using it for about 3 years now. So this was my 2020. So 2020. This is my 2021. Love the color. And this is my 2022 one, which is this. The only thing I did was, which is my fault, is how I actually set it up, which is why I didn't come out lined up like the rest of them. But nevertheless, I enjoy it. Now, what I did this year that I love is I have been keeping up with my reading journal. And it is such a helpful thing to do. Like, for instance, when I do this is how it was looking. This is just little notes when I was doing the video for the TBR. This is the birthday tag, mid-year thing, and then the rest is, So I always say this is a good idea to get. You can monogram it and put your own thing on there. It works for me, and I've been discovering pens that even are now perfect that won't bleed. So I was like, absolutely, yes. All right, let's try and do this, guys. Now, what I use for my daily journal is the Hobonichi Day Free, and so it's basically what it looks like inside. And this is what I use right now for my day free. It is we call it Tomy River paper, so it can handle everything. This is the cover that I have, which I absolutely love. It's just beat up and looks very vintage and old. And this is what I use for my daily. Then for when I do my writing for like my stories, so you guys follow me for a while, you know that I have done quite a few NaNoWriMo projects. I've done stories on my own. So I have a short story collection. I have 3 novels, 1 completed as far as like the first draft, and 2 I have not ended yet. But I write my research, everything that I want to write, or things I thought of. Like, I usually travel with this because sometimes something will come to my mind. I would jot it down so I can use it later in a book. And this is the endless notebook. This is the same exact paper as the Hobonichi. This is a Tomi River paper, so meaning this can handle everything. So you can use this as a regular journal because you can paint in this, you can write. It takes all the fountain pen that I have, all the ink, and it doesn't bleed because again, it's a Tomi River paper. Love it, and I use this as my story notes. One of the thing about this as well is I have it in other format. So these are new ones I've not used. Sometimes I save them so I could give them away in a giveaway. But this one is lined paper. So you can see it's lined. And this one is the dotted grid, but I feel like these are so big. Like the Hobonichi, they faded. This is so bright that I don't know how I feel writing on this. That's why I haven't tested that out yet. So that is the I guess you call the grid. And then the dotted one, I think I want to kind of practice on this because I'm still using this for that, and I love this. So this I think is very nice. I've never used a dotted grid that has Tomi River paper, but this is also, like I said, this is Tomi River paper, and it is, so as you can see, it's the same exact paper as the Hobonichi. And so I highly recommend, if you want to do Tomi River paper but you want affordable, this is way cheaper than the Hobonichi, like a fraction of the price. Alright, so then I have random notes. So this is where I have my random notes. This was a giveaway I did 2 years ago, I think 2020, and there was I had one for myself and I gave one away. But look at the spine, guys. Look at the spine. Look at the cover. This is gorgeous. I have random notes in this. This is also lined. This can handle a lot of different pen. I very much doubt you can do any painting in this. Oh, I didn't even know this was in there. Or anything like that. But as far as fountain pen, it can handle almost all fountain pens so far. It's thick, and you know, I just put my pen in it. But this is random notes I keep in here of things and ideas that I want to do. I just will pick this up and use it for that. Then this is the most affordable journal that I have. So this one is the Exceed. So this is the one you get at Walmart for under $10. I think it's, sometimes you can get it for $5.99, sometimes it's $9.99, depends on what's going on at Walmart. But it is 100 GSM, very thick. I doodle in this. I will not show you because I'm not good. I am still practicing. So I do a lot of my drawing and things that I want to create in this book. And this is a good book for, like I said, if you want a journal and you want an affordable journal that is actually, the paper quality is good, go for this. And you can get at Walmart different colors, different size. I think this one is a 2 something maybe. Yeah, this one is 240 pages. They have some that's a little less and some that's bigger. They have some that's A5, not A5, sorry, A6. They have the A6 one, which is like, you know, smaller, and different colors and different stuff. This is the dot grid, but they have it in line. They have it, I believe, in blank. So Walmart has this. I always recommend people who don't want to spend a lot of money on a journal, but they want a good paper quality, pick this one up. All right, where we at now? So, oh, another thing that I have that I forgot to show you guys. I also have one with the same as my writing journal for this A Journal Mood. I have not used this. I used to have a few of them where I used to give them away in giveaways on Instagram. I think I'm probably going to have more and add it. But these are so good for that as well. So let's move on to my vintage journal. I absolutely love this vintage journal. This is 200 GSM. So you can do the hell you want with this page and nothing's gonna happen. I use this for the vintage series that I do of books. Okay, let's see. So I have the Harlem Renaissance here. Okay, then I have Jane Austen stuff I'm still working on. Then I did The Island Queen. I can't wait for the read the follow-up of it's not a follow-up, it's a different story, but it's her take on Caribbean history, and it's a fiction. It's coming out and I cannot wait. That is going to be read next week once the book gets here. It comes out this Tuesday, so you know I pre-ordered it. But this is what I do. Then of course I had the Great Circle that I did on Instagram, so I did a reel showing me making it, the spread. But I still haven't done anything else in this, and I need to, because I love this. I love the paper. It's just so vintage looking and feels, and you can and it's smooth when you write on it. It doesn't feel you know, crazy because of how thick it is. But this is 200. You cannot do it. This is actually thicker than all the other pages that I have. It can handle a lot, and so I love this. So then last year this was gifted to me, and this is look at it guys, look at this. And this was gifted. I love the message inside, and then this is, you can follow them on Instagram. So I love this. I have not been using it. I've only used it when I did a spread for the summer journal mood last year. I've been using it to like test out the pen on here. I've been testing out ink on here, but I really haven't used it because I don't really know what to do with it yet. Because again, I love the paper quality too. I love how it looks. So I'm just like, you know, this is like I think like a display, really, just to hang somewhere. I need to like showcase it somewhere. But I love this. I think this is so creative, and it's wood, and she is Jamaican. So if you want to support an island girl, definitely check this out. All of these ones that I'm showing you, I'm going to put it in the description so you can check out if you want to purchase anything, or links to where I got stuff. So then I have Galen leather. Yeah, there we go. I bought this notebook from them for this year. And I just started using it. So basically what I do now is I use this as my it's sort of like a planner, but not a planner. It's like a to-do list of things I want to get done for the summer. And so I have a list in here, and this is also Tommy River paper, so of course it can handle everything. But I don't know what else I'm gonna do with it, because it's 400 pages, guys, and this will I just bought it because I thought I was gonna use it, but I realized I have so much other notebook for other things. But also it didn't fit in the case, and so I often forget I even have it. And just the other day I was going through my stash and I realized, well, why am I not using this? So then I have these that I used to play with. I don't play with them as much anymore, but this is when I just started doing art journaling, and these are some of my early stuff, and I've been loving it, looking at it, and I'm like, look at some of the stuff I used to do. So I'm still gonna go back to this, but this paper is not the best, so I wouldn't really recommend anybody getting this because it can't handle a lot of paint. And this is the same thing. This one too can't handle a lot of what we got. Yeah, it can't handle a lot of paint. It's just not ideal. But I have them, and I still keep them sometimes just for practice. Then I have my poetry book. So this was a project that I had started last year. I made this cover. I did an actual real when I was doing this cover. I did this cover before I had a proper tool. Now I always say I was going to redo this cover because I have the stuff that will make it come out neater. But then I thought about it. It has character. Why would I even want to change anything? It has character, so I'm going to keep it. This is one of my favorite notebook. If I was to recommend notebook that is not a Tommy River notebook that I feel is just high quality, it would be this. This is a daily paper, and they were struggling during the COVID, that they were always out of stock. And honestly, I haven't checked to see if they got their stuff back together, but it was such a sad situation. But I had a project last year that I wanted to sit down and handwrite all the poetries I ever written that I've shared on my blog. I've shared so many. I'm pretty sure I'm close to 100. And I was doing really good. I had an index. I was writing in the index, even though I think the index won't be enough to really have everything. I started handwriting everything down, all the poetry that I wrote. All of these you can get on my blog. They all are copyright on there. And I started doing really good, and then, you know, it was just like I got tired. And I love doing this because I was putting the year that I wrote it, and, you know, was going at it, and then I stopped. So I have a long way to go. I'm still going to continue this project because I want to be able to have all my poetry in one location that I can pick up and go through and like, okay, this is what I used to write. You know, there are some from the beginning stage where I'm like, I read it and I'm like, I would change certain things about what I wrote, but it's still like my work and I'm proud of it. So this is, yeah, my poetry stuff. Then what we have left, of course, you guys know this is my 5-year journal, and I can't show you because I already started using it. But this is the what do you call it, the cousin, the A6 cousin, and I love this because every year, for every day for 5 years, you just write, and you get to compare last year to this year. Now, I started last year, so last year when I started, I had nothing to compare it to. This year, because it's the year 2 of using it, I have something to compare it to. So I see the mood. I see certain we call it what's the word I'm looking for? There's certain things that I notice that happens around the same year, the same thing. My mood is very similar around the same time. There's certain things I notice and I'm like, wow, I'm like I have a habit of doing the same exact things or having the same exact feelings about certain things throughout the year. Sorry, my phone. All right, sorry about that, my phone. So I love this, and I love that I can use it to kind of assess my mental state, how I'm handling certain things. And there's like that memory lane that goes down where you think of what happened that time, and then you compare it to this year. This year has a lot of heavy things, so it'll be interesting to comparing it to next year. So I always recommend get the 5-year journal because I think it's such a good way to journal and to keep track of. And it's a short space you have. Literally, one page is holding 5 years. So you're not writing as much as you would in your daily journal. This is just more of little things you want to highlight for the day, or little things you learned, or certain things you want to do, but you just highlight in just a few sentences to fit in that space. The thing is, I use this sporty pen, and it's the fine tip, so I can fit a lot in just that small space that they give you each year. And there is on one side that you can write let's see. All right, there's on one side that you can write notes on. So even if it doesn't fit over here, it will fit here. So now let's talk about the notebooks that I am testing. So you guys, I talked about this early in the video. I'm testing these books for the workshop that's going to be on the 30th of July. And this is 3 different books. So this one I haven't started. I have some stuff in here because I'm going to start. And I was able to really go in on the cover and see how it will hold up, and it hold up nice. I also started doing painting inside. and it held up nice and it did not bleed. So if you can see, there's nothing on that side. So I said, okay, this is doing it. I haven't started on this one yet, but this one is a dotted grid versus this is the blank. And then this one is another one. I just love how its outside is. Again, this one is the same as this, except for it doesn't have this border. It just has this. So I like blank things like this when you do an art journal and you're showing someone, because you show them that you can do whatever with the cover. And this one is lined, but what I like about this one is you can rip the pages out, and which is nice. So I will use the paper in my journal because of how much I can rip it out and do certain things. So this will be, will use this in my journal as papers to do certain things. So this is how and I will, for the next couple of weeks up before the journal class, I will add stuff inside and as demonstration and in videos, and this will I'll be able to do like flip through of these. Before my personal journal, I can't do flip through. I know people always want to see I can't, because I write in them. These are personal things that I can't share. Yeah. So these are personal things that I can't share. So that's why I figured, you know what, this might be a good idea for me to start doing some journal spreads in here, and which I can show in videos where I can encourage people on how to journal and how to add stuff. And I might add maybe some of my poetry in here, or some like inspirational quotes or words in here, so to give you an idea. This way I can do flip through and I can show you my work, versus like my personal journal. I can only show you me creating the pages, but once I start writing in them, I can't go back and flip through to show you anything. And I notice I don't have none of that to even show. I was like, I'm doing this class and I can't even get them real examples, because my examples are in my personal journal that I can't show them. I can only encourage them to go check out my Instagram page, and they can see how I create these pages. But once it's done, there's no me going back to show you, because it's personal things that I write in them. So these are going to be for you guys, for me showing you guys how I create a certain spread and give you guys like bits and pieces of how I journal. So that's where we're at. And also, again, if you come to the workshop, you will be getting a copy of one of these. Once I'm done and I realize which is the best quality, I will give you a copy of one of these in your goodie bag. And these pen that I am in love with. I usually write with fountain pen, but I've been testing out this ballpark pen. It is a Japanese brand, and it got high ratings, so I bought it, and I've been using it in here, and it actually doesn't bleed. So I will continue testing it, and this will also be one of the items that I will put in the workshop thing. So guys, yes, I made it to the end, and I know it's long. It's journal, guys. I love talking about journal. So let me know. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I almost forgot. How can I forget my junk journal? You can see this from here. I don't need to turn back on my phone, but look at my junk journal. I made this, I think maybe 3 years ago. I did show you guys a picture of it, but look at the little things that's coming off. And inside I have, let's see, I don't know how much I can show you, because this is another one where I start writing personal stuff. What the hell? And inside I have a pocket so I can put stuff in. And then it's only one page I wrote on, so that's good. And then I have all these other ones, that papers that I add, and you just can create anything on them. They're all different size, different color, different things. You know, this one has that. It's just, if you've never made a junk journal, maybe I should just do one, because I always want to redo one that's not this colorful, that's a little bit more vintage looking. And I need to use this. So this is another one where I can still work on and maybe add to videos where I can just do some junk journaling. But you can use this as a regular journal. It's just that the pages are going to be funky looking. But it is still, you can still write on them because I have stuff written on this page and this page. I have to read it because I don't know what I wrote, so I don't want to like show you guys because I don't know what I wrote. Like I don't know how deep it is, but let me not show you guys because I don't know. I don't want to show you and then I'm like, oh yeah, maybe not. But I love this, and it was such a challenge because you gotta sew. You sew in the edges, and that was actually fun to make. And then of course this is the cloth that I use as a cover, and inside this is the back of it. And yeah, this was fun. So this is my junk journal that I've been neglecting, that I need to do. But I'm gonna make another one. I do have another one that I made that I didn't like. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. So yeah, my junk journal, guys. Love it. All right. Now we're done. So anyway, guys, let me know what's some of your favorite. Again, any of these I think is worth having, I will put in the description. Most of these are in my description under my favorites. But I would add like the daily. I would search and see if the daily page is back on track, if they're back in stock. Because I think this is one of the best one you can get. Absolutely one of the best ones you could get. But other than that, all the other ones, I think they all are listed. Honestly, maybe this one I need to put information for you if you want to get this one. But other than that, I think all of them, now that I think about it, are listed except for daily paper and this one. But again, you don't need to buy anything expensive because like I showed you, I've showed you the cheapy cheap to the more pricier notebooks. But so you don't need to buy an expensive notebook to be creative. These come in sets of 12s and they were like $20. A set of 12. So if you do the math of how much one costs per, it's nothing. So you can really go that. You go to Dollar Tree and they have cheap notebook as well that does have quality paper. Again, feel the paper, test the paper out for pens, because again, you don't want a paper that's so thin that when you write with certain pens it bleeds through. It's just not going to work for you because you can't be too creative. You just have to be plain and just write with regular pen. If that's your jam, if you just a journal person that just write with a regular pen and you don't care about any form of art journaling, then you can get away with everything possible out there to write with. But if you're a person that likes to try out different ink, different pens, different markers, paint and all of that, then the paper quality is going to be important to you. So let's keep that in mind. But I'll be back next week. I'll talk more. I will add more journaling things as I go. I do want to incorporate more journaling in my videos. I'm in the mood to do more. And I will definitely get back to you on other DIY projects. So yeah, sorry guys if this is a long video for you, but I was having fun. So I'll see you